if I send it in the morning, they're still good. So. How does that even mean? I'm in the crappy seat. Oh, got that thing.
Is yours reclined?
No, my chair doesn't recline. Well,
Yeah. If you
I really got to work it.
Yeah, you got to work on that. You got to adjust it. Set up to suit you.
No.
The pink helmet, though. She's styling. Oh, yeah? That's what they do now?
I'll shoot a hole in her sock.
Why don't we give it to our Scoutmaster and let him do it?
The dog chewed a hole in. She got a triple. She goes,
The board ready? Y'all ready?
but she didn't make it home. Love its fart. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You speaking?
If you want, they'll probably just ask you to come there and talk about a little bit about it.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
nothing major.
Okay.
I promise.
All right, we're ready.
Yes, sir.
All right, it's time to call the Farragut Beer Board for April 28, 2016 to order. First item is the approval of minutes from the March 10th, 2016 meeting. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next item of business, approval of a Class 2 on-premise other beer permit for Kroger, number 686, 189 Brookline Street.
Yes, sir. This on-premise beer permit, the criteria for that, they must generate a minimum of 95% of their gross revenue of their establishment for the sales of other than alcoholic beverages. And Kroger does, they are within that parameter, and the proposed motion is to approve a Class 2 on-premise permit, permit for Kroger at 189 Brookline Street, subject to them obtaining a certificate of occupancy for their remodel.
Do we have a representative from Kroger here? Would you please come to the podium? Give us your name and address, please.
Hi, I'm Molly Stiles. My actual home address is 10451 Stiles Road in Kodak. And I'm pleased to be before you tonight to talk about this. What kinds of questions?
Well, can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing there?
Okay. Our on-site, the license that we're applying for is to help us to promote local brewery beers. We will like to have a growler station, which would promote small microbreweries in our local region. Those beers typically are not pasteurized. They're a little bit pricey at times, but they're also made here very locally and employ people in the local area. The license we would like to have would allow us to provide flights of beer, which is 4-ounce samples of different beers where people could try the different local breweries and see if they liked the product that they had. They would be served up to 2 pints in total at any time, and it would only be within the seating area of where the growler bar is.
So are these kegs of beer that you'll have?
Yes, they.
Okay.
Most of them only provide in keg quantities, and then you sell into a 32 or 64-ounce growler that you have filled on and sealed on site there and paid for at that location in the store.
So you're selling the growlers, plus people can bring their own, I would assume, their own growler but just to purchase the beer?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
How many seats will you be having at this?
12.
12.
Is that all inside?
Yes, sir. And it's all in one very distinct small location.
Where's it going to be in the store?
Will it be in the first aisle past the perishable side? I guess the first aisle where there will be wine located there too as
Okay.
well.
And I assume it'll be like a roped off area, or is it open from just one location or several?
It is open.
Okay.
It is open. It's a very distinct area.
And you'll have all the normal precautions, only licensed, trained salespeople will be presenting the alcoholic beverages,
Yes, sir. And
carding.
Yes, sir. We have completed our alcohol training for the state of Tennessee.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I have none.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve Class 2 on-premise other beer permit for Kroger number 686 on Brookline Street.
Do I hear a s-
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck. Next item is the CrossFit Farragut at 10863 Kingston Pike.
Yes, sir. This is for the same type of permit that was just approved for Kroger, and they also qualify for those parameters of the 95% of the gross revenues come from sales other than alcoholic beverages. So the proposed motion is to approve a Class 2 on-premise other beer permit for CrossFit Farragut, 10863 Kingston Pike, subject to obtaining a certificate of occupancy.
And do we have a representative here?
Yes.
Would you please approach the podium, please? Give your name and address.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board. My name's Shane Poteet. Live at 524 Farragut Commons Drive. What we're looking to do, beer and yoga has taken off in several other states, Atlanta, Kentucky, Georgia, Kentucky, and right now there's an operation, I'm not quite sure where it is in the city of Knoxville, but that are providing this to clients that come in, they do yoga, afterwards they share a beer. The example I can give y'all is probably Echelon. That's kind of the setup we're looking at, is just to provide a beer after a long, hard workout. And that's what we're looking at.
Exactly where you're located, because I looked at this address, couldn't find you.
That is, okay, it's the big flag behind David Abbey's carpet. Patriots.
Back
Corner.
behind the marathon?
Yes, sir.
Are you open already?
No, we are open. Our facility now is at 157 West End Avenue. The address that you have in front of you, we have already signed a lease on. That is where we're planning on trying to do the beer yoga. The facility we have now just doesn't support the size or the occupancy that we would have with the yoga classes.
So are you going to have two locations?
No, sir. We are shutting down the one at 157.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When do you anticipate opening this location, and when will this permit be needed?
Right now, I just went through the CO on Monday. I'm meeting with Colin on the following Monday to discuss some more issues with the facility. Steve Williams has some things that he has to do on his end to meet those code requirements. So we were hoping to be in May 1st. That is not going to happen. We're looking at probably the middle of May, transferring everything from the gym over to that location as soon as we get the CO, as soon as Steve finishes his projects that he needs for the fire marshal. That's what we're looking at. No concrete date yet. As far as the beer yoga, that's another thing that we have not got a date when we would start that. We were hoping immediately after we occupied the facility that on Thursdays is when we would hold the beer yoga.
Are you guys, did you do the training you're supposed to do for alcohol?
I was not aware that we needed to until I heard her say that, but we will accomplish that. We will get that done, yes, ma'am.
My concern is, obviously, you can take a yoga class and be under the age of 21.
Exactly, yes,
So,
ma'am.
yeah.
Yep. What I understood it was if that was only if you were serving liquor, but now I'm made aware that it's also for beer, correct? Okay.
Correct.
We will take that, yes, ma'am. We will make sure we meet all those requirements.
Any other questions? Concerns? Do I hear a motion?
I move for approval of Class 2 on-premise other permit for CrossFit Farragut 10863 Kingston Pike.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes.
Thank you.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you. Can I ask another question?
Sure.
Should we provide that or the license that we got, the training, do we provide that to y'all?
You can.
Okay, all right, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Knoxville Drug Commission has a kit too that's very helpful for your servers, people that are involved in the,
Okay.
in the sale of alcohol or presentation of alcohol. So I'd recommend you get a hold of them, and they're very helpful.
We sure will.
You want to make sure that your people were trained in doing it properly, because if not, there is a fine. And
Okay.
you don't want to be hit with that.
No, sir, we will respect that.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Good luck.
Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, next item on the agenda, approval of a Class 5 off-premise beer permit for the Fresh Market number 21 located at 11535 Kingston Pike.
Yes, sir. The Fresh Market currently has a beer permit, but due to a change of ownership, they are requesting to obtain a new one. So the motion is to approve a Class 5 off-premise beer permit for the Fresh Market number 21 at 11535 Kingston Pike.
We have a representative. Will you please approach the podium and give your name and address, please?
Good evening. My name is Roger Castle, and the Fresh Market, I'm sorry, I can't remember the address up here. What has happened here is Apollo Financial Group has purchased the Fresh Market in full. And what we're needing to do is just make sure we're within the laws and just apply for a new license, because the ownership has changed, but the name is still the same.
And you're saying all 200 stores have been
Yes.
purchased?
Yes.
This is nationwide.
Nationwide, they own us 100%.
Allison, do they need to go through training again, or is this just basically a?
It's just a housekeeping
Okay.
thing, just to change the ownership.
Any other questions?
I move to approve Class 5 off-premise beer permit for the Fresh Market, number 21, 11535 Kingston Pike.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It passes.
Thank you.
Is there any other business?
No, sir.
All right, if that's the case, the Farragut Beer Board for April 28th, I'm sorry, what's today? April 28th is adjourned.
And so we move now to the Farragut Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting for April 28th. We will start by rising for invocation to be given by Adrian Goldberg. And following that, the Troop 140 Boy Scouts will present the colors, and we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance.
Our kind, gracious Heavenly Father, we're most very grateful for this day and for the opportunity to gather here and for this meeting. And please bless us that we may be here and be able to enjoy our time here. And after this meeting is complete, that we may be returned to our homes safely. And please bless us that we can learn from these experiences here. And I say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Color guard, attention. Audience, please rise. Scout salute. Those not in uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. Color guard, advance. Color guard, hold. Color guard, cross the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2. Color guard, post the flag of the United States of America. 2. Color guard, post the flag of the town of Farragut.
Thank you, guys. First item is approval of the agenda. Rather short. Change needed.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as stated.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next item is mayor's report, and under that, we have a presentation of the Farragut Freedom Run presentation.
Hi. The owner of Fleet Feet Farragut is here to talk about this really exciting event that's going to take place right before our annual Independence Day Parade. Shaheen Hadian is going to come on up and talk to us and give a little brief presentation.
Hello. My name is Shaheen Hadian. I'm the owner of Fleet Feet Knoxville. We've been in town for 9 years. This is a great opportunity for us to do a fun event in front of the parade. We have about 30 minutes where the roads are closed. Folks are just lining up. And so the idea of doing a 1-2 mile race that starts from Town Hall, ends at the Ingalls area, and allows all type of runners, from beginners to fast runners, to kind of run that course with 5 lanes of closed traffic in front of their people. So it's going to happen on 4th of July, 9 a.m. As soon as the roads are closed, we're getting the okay to kind of take off. So if you have any questions for me, I would like to address it for you.
Sue, is that what time what time does the parade start? 9:30. Okay.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
I love
Thank
this
you.
idea.
Thank you.
I thought, when I heard this, I thought this is a really good idea, an opportunity to take advantage of something, because that's the biggest pain about races, is closing down roads.
Exactly.
And then that's all covered, and it just sounds like a really
So I
fun
brought you a little sample thing what we'd like to give to the kids who run it. We're hoping to have a giving committee to kind of find some proceeds so we can, with the town of Farragut for sure, and also another military cause. So make it fun for everybody. We're hoping to see some state record broken because it's a flat course. So thank you for that vote of. We also were
The
excited.
only flat area in Knoxville or Farragut.
Exactly.
Pretty good little hill out there going up in front of the Campbell Station
Just
Inn.
at the start, but that's just to get them worked out. So I hope to see the whole committee over there.
So this is going to be a flat-out sprint. This is just a
So
run.
the way we're doing the time, we've been looking at the details of the time real closely because the sheriff has to close the route. We're going to give the okay, and we're trying to make it both competitive yet fun. So we have about 30 minutes to be in front of the parade. So the 1 mile starts out, 2 mile starts first. That's what we were trying to plan. They go right all the way to the closure, turn around as they're going back. Right about when they get to mile 1, we're going to send off the 1 milers. That way the fast 2 milers and fast 1 milers are now racing together. Well, the slow people are in the back and enjoying the whole crowd. Oh, sorry. So they're basically, the fast guys are coming in. They're going to do it under 5 minutes, hopefully. And for 1 mile, 2 mile under 10 or 11. And the slow folks can do up to 20 minutes, and they still be right behind. So that way they can be dressed up for 4th of July and make it a very fun event. So we're hoping to hit all targets. So that's our objectives.
Cool.
Great, yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions or?
Nope.
This
Look
is just a
forward to it.
presentation. We don't have to have a vote on it, do we?
I don't think you need,
No, sir.
hopefully not. So. We'll be providing more information. We're going to go start with the promotion of it very soon, both with the town and also through our store, and just trying to get a very strong event for it. I mean, Hot to Trot has become just kind of a staple for the area. 3,000, we're still, we could grow if we could close the roads down. Hint for future consideration. But so this may be a second one. We like to have events that are targeting and they're very fun and kind of appeal to the whole market. So I think this is going to be a great one. So again, thank you for your support.
I love it. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Next item is the citizens forum. We have anybody?
No, sir.
All right, we move on to approval of minutes of the meeting of April 14th.
I move to approve.
And I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Then to ordinances, and this first one is a second reading, ordinance 16-07, an ordinance to rezone parcel 117, tax map 142, located at the south intersection of North Campbell Station Road and Heron Road, approximately 4.68 acres from R2 General Single Family Residential to S1 Community Service Autumn Care LLC applicant.
Yes, sir. This is the rezoning that was before you all last time on first reading for that property at the intersection of Heron Road and North Campbell Station. To go from the R2 to the S1, March 17th of 2016, Planning Commission recommended approval of Ordinance 1607. Then at your all's meeting on first reading, a condition was placed on this rezoning to restrict the height. And within your packet, the town attorney and the applicant's architect has worked on some language. And in Section 2 of Ordinance 1607, you can see that condition as it's been placed to restrict that height. So that language is coming out of Chapters 2 and 4 of the zoning ordinance, so we feel that it is compatible with our current regulations, just kind of tweaked to fit this property as a condition. So the proposed motion is to approve Ordinance 1607 on second reading as amended. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you all have.
The applicant's okay with the language that's been proposed? Yeah. Okay.
Any discussion?
Questions? Do you want to address her? Yeah.
Mr. Falk doesn't have much to say
No.
since we've been dealing with this since probably last March of 2015 maybe, so maybe. There you go.
I would like to thank Mr. Falk for his time. Originally, the issue was that this was in R6 zoning, which had a minimum lot size of 5 acres, and of course, this is 4.68 or so. And it was multifamily apartments. So anytime we were looking at assisted living, we were also looking at the possibility of apartments coming there, which was the reason why we wanted to pull that out and put it either in its own zoning or add it to a underused zoning, which is what we ended up doing with the S1. And Mr. Falk made himself very available to help us craft that language. And of course, it took longer than any of us would have wanted, but we have to be very particular about our ordinances when we're updating them. So your patience has been appreciated and your persistence has been appreciated, and really excited about this. And just for my intention for the height limitation was because I knew it wouldn't affect your project, but I knew that the neighbors in that area were concerned about a 2-story building and the type of traffic that may come from more people in a 2-story building. So it was more managing to protect the existing neighborhoods, which was the reasoning behind putting that limitation on that. So I appreciate what you've been through, and we're excited to see this project come to fruition.
Amen.
Was that a motion?
I'll move for approval of, oh, that was a motion?
Well, you go ahead and make your move.
I'll move for approval of ordinance 1607.
All right, hearty second to that.
Favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank
Any
you all.
opposed? Next ordinance, 16-08, an ordinance to amend ordinance 15-08, fiscal year 2016 budget, state street aid fund.
Yes, sir. The state street aid fund will be amended by increasing the appropriated expenditures from $688,000 to $1,146,000, which is an increase of $458,000. The $458,000 were the funds that were earmarked for resurfacing in the fiscal year 2015 budget, but were not actually expended until the fiscal year 2016 budget. So those numbers will be moved from fiscal year 15 to 16. And the motion is to approve ordinance 1608 on second and final reading.
Do I understand there's no changes since the first reading?
No, sir.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 16-08.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Third ordinance is ordinance 16-09, an ordinance to amend the text of the municipal code of the town of Farragut, Tennessee, ordinance 86-16 as amended by amending Title 19, Businesses, Peddlers, Solicitors, etc., Chapter 1, Peddlers, etc.
Yes, sir. Nothing has changed since the first reading of this ordinance. And the main point to this is expanded definition section. The applicant must obtain a solicitation permit from Knox County. The fees will be established in the fee schedule that will be coming before you all in a few weeks. And we've added the hours that one can solicit, which will be Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And it prohibits the sale of goods or services or solicit in vehicular traffic lanes or operate a quote-unquote roadblock of any kind. Attached in your packets was the current copy of the code with the proposed outlines or the changes and the motions to approve ordinance 1609 on second and final reading.
I move to approve ordinance 1609.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Moving on to business items, the first one is approval of resolution R-2016-07, Town of Farragut Supplemental Retirement Custodial Bank Change. What is that all about?
Good evening. As you all may recall, we established a supplemental retirement plan for 5 employees in 2011. Recently, Reliance Trust, who is our custodial bank for our assets, notified us that their relationship with the town will terminate June 30th. So therefore, we need a resolution in order to change banks, and that's what this resolution is about. The supplemental retirement plan was implemented July 1st of 2012. At this time, the plan is fully funded. The additional funding is not currently anticipated. All of our GADSP requirements are met. Additionally, USI Consulting Group was contracted as our town consultant for this plan. No changes have been made to the plan since its approval in 2012. And with me tonight, I have Callie McClure. She is with us tonight from USI Consulting Group. And they recommended Commercial Bank and Trust as our new custodial bank. As the custodial bank, CB&T will hold and invest the town's assets according to the board-approved investment policy, which is what we're talking about, in the approved funds and in the approved amounts. CB&T is a state-chartered bank in Tennessee. They have $694 million in assets under management and no SEC filings. The trust department is regulated by the FDIC in the state of Tennessee. CB&T was founded in 1877 in Paris, Tennessee. Currently, they have 10 branches in western Tennessee and are FDIC insured. They offer a full range of services, including custodial services, which include the safekeeping of securities, collecting dividend and interest income, distributing income and principal, keeping records, issuing quarterly statements, carrying out the town-directed purchases and sales, and USI Consultants has thoroughly vetted this bank. So therefore, we are asking for approval of Resolution 2016-07 to change the town supplemental retirement plan's custodial bank from Reliance Bank to the Commercial Bank and Trust. Are there any questions?
Ms. Curry, I'm just curious, why is Reliance terminating their relationship with us?
Good question, Callie.
We worked with Reliance for as a custodian for all of our defined benefit plans, and we had an agreed arrangement with them in terms of fees and service and so forth, and they are not willing to continue to honor their contract with us. So they're terminating not just with the town of Farragut, but with all of the DB plans that we have with them at this point. So.
Okay, and so CB&T is going to be a comparable rate schedule. There's no impact there on our plan?
No, there will be no impact on the plan. With the custodial bank, there's really not a whole lot of touch, so to speak, between the town and the custodian. We handle the preparation of the trade tickets, and then the trade tickets are given to the town for signing off. And essentially, that is all that you're going to really see at the town in terms of custodial bank information is going to be the trade tickets, which we prepare and send over. But in terms of impact on the plan, there's not going to be any impact. The timing will be done prior to what is required by Reliance, so they are saying 6:30. I anticipate getting the town of Farragut's plan moved over by the end of May, so well within the time frame. And in terms of fee-wise, there's very limited difference in the amount of fees, roughly about $100 difference in the fees.
Annually?
Annually, yes, sorry.
Okay. Well, Mr. Cross, I see here that he has vetted them and feels comfortable with them, and this is his recommendation.
Yes, we've thoroughly vetted CB&T. We worked with them on the trustee side for a number of years, and we're now going to be moving all of our defined benefit plans over to their custodial platform now.
I have no more questions.
Motion?
Motion to approve the resolution R2016-07 supplemental retirement plan custodian change.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ms. Curry, do you have something else to say? I'm sorry.
I have the next
next one.
resolution.
What?
The next resolution.
The
Oh,
next resolution.
okay.
All right, the next is approval of resolution 2016-08, Town of Farragut Supplemental Retirement Plan Investment Policy Revision.
Yes, good evening again. This resolution is regarding our supplemental plan investment policy statement, which is this document. It was in your packet, as you recall. And this resolution is required in order to add one fund type to the policy and to update plan language. As I said earlier, the plan has been fully funded and additional funding is anticipated. All Gatsby is met. We haven't touched this plan since 2012, and it's time to basically update the language and add the new fund. And I think this is a pretty ordinary thing that happens in the business world in the life of a fund. There is more information here for discussion, but I think Callie is the one to answer your questions.
Sure. So just a basic update, like Janet mentioned, this was originally drafted in 2012. Like all documents, we are updating for governmental and updates for just basic language that needed to be updated within it. The main thing that really is updating in here is the asset allocation numbers and what is permissible for the town to invest in. And why that's being updated is, like Janet mentioned, the plan is fully funded now. No additional deposits are required. So really the main objective of the assets now is just preservation. We want to preserve the assets so the town will hopefully in the future not have to make any additional deposits. So by doing so, what we have done is lowered the overall equity content allowed in the plan, so lowered the domestic equity amount and adjusted to add more international availability in there. And then we also adjusted the fixed income asset allocation. So we added in some more fixed income categories to invest in to just broaden the investments out there. And so why we did that is you all know the interest rate environment that we are in now. By broadening the fixed income assets that we can invest in, we can hopefully spread it out and not be as susceptible to credit risk and interest rate risk. And so that's why we adjusted those. And then as Janet mentioned, in terms of adding a fund, really what we did was just update the benchmarks to reflect the new asset allocation. In the benchmarks, there was not a benchmark for the emerging markets category, so we added that in there as well too, and then just adjusted the overall total benchmarking percentage to more reflect that asset allocation that we had updated.
We're not going to be investing in any Greek and Puerto Rican bonds?
No, not directly.
Brazil.
And does the language need to be updated? Does it just happen every so often, or is this?
There's really no set time frame. Just every so often, if there's required governmental updates, we'll update that, or if there's just required, not benchmarking, so to speak, but just general updates within the language of what is offered in other investment worlds and so forth.
More discussion?
I move for approval of Resolution R 2016-08 Supplemental Retirement Plan Revisions.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
And number C is approval of reimbursement request for utility relocation by First Utility District at Everett Road Improvements Project.
Yes, this is a request from First Utility District, excuse me, for reimbursement for cost to move First Utility's line as part of the Everett Road project. I think it's safe to say in any roadway improvement project, utilities will typically have to be moved out of the way to make room for the project. If a utility is located within the existing right-of-way of the roadway, typically they are required to make their move at their own expense. If they're located outside the public right-of-way on their own easement, any move that they have to make is reimbursable to the project. First Utility had, in my understanding, had purchased an easement along Everett Road in this area near Smith Road back about 1983, and they were outside the public right-of-way. They have made this request for $27,470.79. Staff has reviewed the request and found it to be in keeping with the amount of work that was required. They've compared it to TDOT average prices. It's well within TDOT average prices for similar moves on similar projects. So staff makes the recommendation for approval of the reimbursement request from First UD for a total of $27,470.79.
Mr. Smith, could you just real briefly detail the scope of the work, what they're actually doing? They're moving within their easement, is that right?
Well, they had to purchase a new easement, actually. They had to move outside of the easement that they had. It's kind of hard to tell on this drawing, but there is a box culvert under Everett Road that's kind of parallel to Smith Road. Do you see it there? That box culvert was extended in order to stay out of the box culvert, because they've got to be underground. They were required to move to the east a little ways and cross Smith Road at another location. Prior to this project, they were able to go, well, you can kind of see it under what is currently those wing walls there. You can see the 12-inch sanitary line. They had to move out of the way of that. And unfortunately, I didn't provide the drawing that is just beyond that, but they had to go a little ways and then tie back into their old line.
Okay, thank you.
It looks fairly simple, but it's $27,000 worth of work.
Yeah, it's a 12-inch sewer lane, sewer pipe that's got to be maintained while this is going on.
That's correct.
I wouldn't want to do it.
I have a question that's kind of, well, it's FUD related. You know, the project in Saddle Ridge.
Yes.
Is there any way that we can have a discussion with this disbursement of money with them to maybe work with their insurance company to get the insurance company moving on that project?
Are you saying hang on to the check?
Or negotiate the check with some help from them? I don't know. I would love to see the Saddle Ridge issue get resolved.
So would I. Right now, I will say that we've been talking with our resurfacing contractor. We're hoping to get them in there next week.
Okay.
Which is a pretty quick turnaround. We've kind of expedited the back and forth with the paperwork, and we're hoping that they will be able to start on Wednesday. This is a tentative schedule.
Okay.
I shouldn't, please don't record that, because it's a moving thing.
It's still in the works, but.
It's still in the works, but we're hoping they'll be in there next week on it. As far as reimbursement from their insurance company, we're working with them on that.
Well, I move to improve approval of reimbursement request from First Utility District at Everett Road Improvements Project.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item is Town Administrator's Report.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple different things tonight. First is we have a meeting next week to discuss the impact fee public forum, a topic we've been discussing for several months now. Having another public forum on that on Thursday, May the 5th at 7 p.m. in our community room just down the hallway. So we hope to get some more public feedback on it then. As well, I think not our event, but one we're going to be involved in is the Knox County Sheriff's Office grand opening on May the 7th. From 10 to 12 out there in Turkey Creek. And I know Captain Lawson's excited to get that precinct open, and we're excited to have them open as well. So we'll be out there supporting them on their grand opening that night. Mayor, I also wanted to give you an update. Whenever I get a chance to gloat and talk about our employees, I certainly want to do that. But we had a couple of employees that I wanted to talk about a little bit with you today that really went above and beyond the call of duty when it comes to helping our fellow citizen here in town. This past week or so, we had Jeff Williams, who is our Public Works foreman, and Tommy McCamus, who works in the Public Works Department as well. We're out at McPhee Park, and they had a family that had a flat tire. They had no spare tire. They couldn't afford AAA. Didn't have AAA. Couldn't afford to get a tow truck to tow them where they needed to go. So Jeff drove over to Matlock Tire, told him he needed what size tire he needed, told him the situation. Matlock donated a tire to him, and he took it over and changed the tire out for that family so that they could get on their way and get going. So I just wanted to say kudos to Jeff and Tommy both for working on that. And then not too much longer, either before or after that, here at Town Hall, we had another lady that had a flat tire. Just air was out of her tire. And he drove over to Public Works, got the air pressure pump that we have, came over here and pumped her tire up for us so she could get on her way. So, again, I just show that as just an example of the guys going above and beyond what their job duties are to help our fellow citizens out, and just say kudos to them for the great work that they do. That's all I have to report.
Can I say something to that? We have the best professionals here. They're smart, they're dedicated, but they are also the nicest people I have worked with. And I'm just pleased that it's such a wonderful experience. So thank you.
Thank you, and I'll pass those sentiments on to our employees for sure.
And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, guys.